So as of the recording of this, August 2nd, my copy of Windows XP Home Edition has come. Actually, it came 2 weeks ago, but I've been so busy I wasn't able to get around to it. I unpacked it, and this is indeed a genuine copy, as you can tell. The start button looks, it's high quality printing. The disc was official. I ran my finger against the edge and there was no label stuck on it. The COA that was on the shrink wrap, but I threw the shrink wrap away because you'll find out why in just a moment. But there was another difference that I wanted to show, that between, here's the counterfeit manual just for reference, or just for comparison. Compare the low quality image here to the high quality image here, and if we turn the page, the counterfeit manual says printed in China. The official manual was printed right here in the US of A. Little suspicious, right? Anyways, but this is a legitimate copy of Windows XP Home Edition. Unfortunately, if I can open the case the correct way. Yep, unfortunately, I can't say the same about this. Well, actually, I can say the same about the CD, but if you look at the edges, this disc is kaput. Now, you might be asking me, well, Ben, the data layer has no scratches or scuffs or smudges on it. Why is that bad? Well, if you know anything about CDs, the top layer is also susceptible to damage from the elements as well. And this is called disk rot, or burn-ins, as some might call it. As you can see, I can see through the disk to the data layer on the top. Therefore, this disk is no good. And it's a shame, because this is actually a legitimate copy of Windows XP Home Edition. And this was a counterfeit. Sorry, the recording cut out because I hit the stop button when I set the camera down. But yeah, that's now 2 copies of Windows XP that I've wasted money on. Now, fortunately for both of these copies, I was able to get my money back for both the counterfeit copy and the damaged copy. But yeah, it's like I never have luck with ordering operating system software on eBay. I always get scammed. Maybe I'm just a sucker, but who knows? The point is, I have ordered a 3rd copy of Windows XP Professional, and hopefully we can get the frickin' thing installed. Just moderately angry right now about the whole situation, that is. But anyways, if this copy turns out to be illegitimate, or it's damaged, or whatever, I'm going to have to give up on this installation commemoration celebration. Because I've already spent at least $100 on all 3 of these copies. And yes, I got my money back for these 2, but still, it's like, just go easy on me, God, please. No, I'm kidding. Anyways, actually, I do have the shrink wrap for the, I lied. I do have the shrink wrap for the Windows XP Home Edition. If you want that product key, pause the video, and it's yours. I really never use Windows XP Home Edition, so I really have no use for that key. So if you want that key, pause the video and it's yours. Anyways, my copy of XP Pro is on the way. Hopefully it'll be legitimate and the disc will be unscathed. But we'll see in just a few weeks or so. Anyways, tune out for now. So to continue where I left off, yes, I recorded the XP Home Edition clips about a couple weeks ago, but in the time that has passed, I have acquired, not only have I cleaned up the Dell Latitude C600, but I've also acquired another copy of Windows XP Professional. Now this one may not be legitimate as well, because I'm not actually going to show the COA, because I'm going to, if this does successfully install, I want to try to activate it, but the COA looks vastly different from a legitimate COA that's on one of my Dell laptops. So this could also be a bootleg copy, but we're going to find out together. If this, I'm going to go out on a limb and say this, if this is a bootleg copy, I'm giving up trying to install Windows XPs for the commemoration for its 20th anniversary because I've already spent over $100, 60 of which I got back, but the point is, I can't spend any more money. So I really need this to be a genuine copy. So, without further ado, let's unbox this copy of XP and see if we can install it on the Dell Latitude C600. So let me get my knife, and we're going to do a proper unboxing of this. Make sure I'm in view of the camera. So the shrink wrap is already a little bit opened here. We're just going to... I was trying to get this out to keeping the shrink wrap mostly intact. There we go. I think I got it. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to set that product key to the side. So here's the disc. I'm going to take it out and pray that this is a genuine copy. Are you kidding me? Seriously, are you kidding me? Are you freaking kidding me? This disc is damaged too. Is this even a Yeah, this is a genuine disc and it's freaking damaged. That's now 3 copies of Windows XP that I've wasted my money on. This is a legitimate copy and it's freaking damaged. You know what? Could you excuse me for just a moment? Just a moment, yeah. Fuck! God damn it! Piss, shit, assholes! Hey! If any of you sellers have any last-minute gift ideas for me, I've got one. I'd like the seller who sent me this copy of Windows XP right today, right here, right now. And I want him brought from his happy slumber over there on Melody Lane with all the other rich people, and I want him brought right here to New Jersey. And I want to tell him, strike him straight in the eye, and I want to tell him what a cheap, lying, no-good, rotten, four-flushing, low-life, snake-licking, dirty, inbred, overstuffed, ignorant, blood-sucking, dog-kissing, brainless, dickless, hopeless, heartless, fat-ass, bug-eyed, stiff-legged, spotty-lipped, worm-headed sack of monkey shit he is! Hallelujah! Holy shit! Where's the Tylenol? Seriously, where is the Tylenol? I have a pretty bad headache. Damn it! Okay. Alright. Everything's fine now. I've only wasted over $120 on three copies of Windows XP, one which was bogus, 2 of which were damaged. It's fine. Everything's sunshine and rainbows. But seriously, let's see what I mean by when I say these discs are damaged. So I've got all 3 of my Windows XP CDs, including the Home Edition disc, and we're going to shop and compare. So basically, for those who don't know, the top side of a CD is also susceptible to damage. And of course the camera is not going to, I can't adjust the tripod, so let me take the camera off the tripod so I can actually show you guys why these discs are damaged and what I mean. Because you won't get it just from looking at the discs. If I can get the, okay, there we go. Okay, so this is a genuine Windows XP Professional disc with Service Pack 3. Notice the edges of this disc. You can see the wavy line around the disc. This is a genuine Windows XP Home Edition disc. Notice how you can see the data layer through the disc and you can see sort of a black line on the disk. You can't see that black line on this disk. Now let's look at the disk that I just almost destroyed. Yes, I know I'm sounding like Plain Rock 124 here, and I almost did turn into Plain Rock 124. Thanks, King! But anyways, yep, it's got the same problem. So both of these disks are no good because they're damp, because they're the victim of disk rot, and unfortunately they will not work. They just will not work. So yes, I could use this disk, but you know what? At this point, I am so freaking tired of losing money, wasting money, trying to get a genuine copy of XP. I'm sorry, I'm done. Okay? I'm freaking done. So what we're going to do for Windows XP's installation commemoration, we're going to use a totally legitimate Windows XP Professional volume license disk. So for those who are looking to activate Windows XP, sorry, but this is not the video for you. And yes, if you want that product key, frickin' take it. I'm so done with this horse crap. If the camera will even focus, there it goes. You want that product key? Pause the video and it's yours. Anyways, let me get the camera back on the tripod and we'll get started with this frickin' commemoration. Actually, I just checked the tapes and realized you guys already saw me install Windows XP on this laptop, so I don't think I need to go through the installation process all over again. Because we already installed XP, we played some games, so honestly, I think what I'll do is I'll show off some of the new and improved features of Windows XP. So let's start with the login screen. Get these frickin' monstrosities out of here. Anyways, and I gotta clean up this table, so that'll be my priority this weekend, is to clean up this table. But anyways, the login screen. Compare this to what you saw in Windows 98. This is quite different. Even compared to Windows 2000, you remember it had, like, in fact, I can make the old logon screen appear if I press Control-Alt-Delete twice. Or maybe I can't. Or maybe I can't, just can't do anything. Okay, well, if you're, I know in XP Home Edition, if you press Control-Alt-Delete twice on the login, on the welcome screen, it'll display the old login screen, but I can't figure it out. Right now, I'm just moderately angry right now. Yeah, so let's just get on with this freaking commemoration. Crazy Ken, if you're watching, props to you. You taught me a lot about comedy. Yeah, if you don't watch Ken Doe's videos from Ken from the Computer Clan, highly recommend that you check out his channel. I'll put a link up in the cards to his channel if I can even link a channel in the cards. But yeah, he makes awesome video content, so go check him out if you like to watch retro tech videos, especially about Apple products. I'm an Apple person too, but whatever. Let's just get on with the freaking commemoration. See, I'm so pissed off, I'm getting sidetracked. Anyways, so here's the welcome screen. This was new to Windows XP. No prior version of Windows had this logon screen. Compared to like Windows 2000 or Windows Millennium Edition, yeah, I still can't get it to work. What the hell? But anyways, so you have a list of users here. You could create multiple users, and I will create another user. So I'll just enable the guest account. Yeah, I know, really good security, but you'll see what I mean. You got the Windows XP logo here. It says to begin, click on your username, and you've got a little message down here that says after you log on, you can add or change accounts. Just go to the control panel and click user accounts. There's also a button in the lower left-hand corner to shut down your computer. Now, I always used to use the resource hacker and change this to say, after you log on, you cannot add or change accounts. Sorry, that's how it is. Yep, I actually made it say that. There's actually a program out there called the Resource Hacker that you can use. It's very similar to Tweak UI for Windows XP, but yeah, it lets you modify stuff that otherwise you wouldn't be able to modify. Anyways, when I click my username, I'm taken to my desktop, and we see that famous Bliss wallpaper. Let me zoom out just a little bit. But this is the default wallpaper on XP. Now, originally, let me pull up the the display properties here. originally, if I can find it here, I don't actually remember what that background is called. Can you tell it's been a while since I've used Windows XP? I think it's called Desert Wind or something like that. Nope. Prairie Wind maybe? Nope. Yeah, I don't remember what the name of the background is. Oh, Red Moon Desert. Red Moon Desert. Yeah. Okay, let me change the desktop background really quickly. This was originally going to be the default wallpaper in Windows XP, and if you've played with a lot of the early Whistler builds, which was Windows XP's code name, this is the default background up until Windows XP, up until some of the release candidate versions of Windows XP. And the reason Microsoft made this change is because people said this looked like a pair of butt cheeks. So Microsoft changed it to the famous Bliss wallpaper, which you'll see in just a moment. Let me just change the background back. And there you go. There's the Bliss wallpaper. And Windows XP added a bunch of new backgrounds, as new versions of Windows did back then. And even with modern versions of Windows, Microsoft is still adding new backgrounds. So props to you, Microsoft. But Windows XP looks completely different than previous versions of Windows. Most notably, the taskbar is completely different. You'll notice there's a completely different design for the Start button. The Start button is now green. In previous versions of Windows, it was gray and had the old Windows flag. This has the new Windows flag. In fact, you can still see what the old Windows flag looked like. If the damn camera will focus, there we go. There is the old Windows logo there. So Windows XP changed that. It was actually one of the first versions of Windows to introduce a new logo, although the logo was changed with Windows 95, but not dramatically. Also, we zoom in on the notification area. The notification area hides inactive icons, but I think it did that, I think it did that in 98, but I want to say it did it in 2K, but I don't know about 98. The clock is a little bit different. There's new icons for different network devices. There is also a built-in, Windows XP also had support for built-in wireless networking, whereas with previous versions of Windows, you had to have special drivers and utilities to connect to Wi-Fi, but XP natively supported wireless connections. Unfortunately, the wireless card in here is an 802.11b card, so unfortunately, unless I dump my router's security down to WEP, I'm not going to be able to connect, and I can't even get into my cable modem because you have to know your ISP's login, and every time I try to reset my password, it says we cannot find an account, even if I put in my account number. So, thanks, Optimum. I guess I'm going to have to call your support and test to see how your reps are. But anyways, moving on with Windows XP. The Start menu also got a major overhaul. In previous versions of Windows, actually, let me change, because you can re-enable the classic Start menu from previous versions of Windows, so I'll enable that. And doing that, notice that when I did that, it restores the icons for my documents, my computer, my network places, and IE to the desktop, how it should be. But now take a look at what the Start menu sort of looked like before, in previous versions of Windows. It didn't look exactly like this, but you had your log off options at the bottom, your run command, your help, your search, your control panel, your recent documents, your programs, and of course, programs that you use that you pinned to the Start menu. But XP changed all that. If we go down here and we re-enable the Windows XP Start menu, notice the icons on the desktop disappeared when I did that. We now have a completely new Start menu, and if you want to, I can maybe at some point I'll play around with Windows Whistler, but for now we're focusing on the final release of XP. But notice there is now a 2-column layout with my username and picture at the top. So let's go from top to bottom. So on the left-hand side of the Start menu is where your programs are. The two programs you can pin programs to the Start menu. For instance, if I wanted to pin Windows Media Player, all I have to do is that is not a right click. Let me try that again. All I have to do is right click and click Pin to Start menu, and now it appears on the Start menu permanently. If I want to undo that, I simply right click and click Unpin. If I want to remove something from the Start menu that's not pinned, I can just hit Remove from this list. Much easier than how you would do that in previous versions of Windows. Then you have your most frequently opened programs here. There's also an All Programs menu, which instead of just being called Programs is just All Programs, but if you hover over this, you can see every program installed on your computer in a pop-out list. On the right-hand side of the Start menu is where your Windows Explorer navigation buttons are for, i.e., my documents, recent documents, my pictures, my music, my computer, control panel, set program access and defaults. There's a Connect To menu, which was used for wireless connections, printers and faxes, help and support, search, run, and if you bought Windows XP pre-installed on your computer, then you would see your an OEM-branded help and support icon there. You also have your log off and shutdown options at the bottom of the Start menu. In addition, not only is your username displayed on the Start menu, but a profile picture is also displayed. So that's the base. That's the base. Those are the base system changes with XP, and also there's different icons, but who really cares about that, right? Anyways, now actually I do. The control panel also got a major overhaul. In previous versions of Windows, the control panel would look somewhat like this, which personally, I prefer this layout. I do not like category view. But to someone who had never owned a computer before, this could be a little cluttered. So what Microsoft did, if we switch back to category view, what Microsoft did was they introduced category view. So let's say I want to change my mouse settings. So I look through these, let's say I'm a complete computer illiterate. Let's say I'm completely computer illiterate, right? I want to change my cursor settings. So what do? I don't know where that is. So I know to go to the control panel, but I don't know where cursor settings are. Printers and other hardware. There's a mouse icon there. Let's see if it's there. Oh, would you look at that? Mouse. And basically that's what categorical control panel view does. This was sort of introduced in Windows Millennium Edition because Windows Millennium Edition did have a feature where you could show only the most commonly used control panel applets, but XP took that a step further, and that is still in Windows to this day. So that's the control panel. Now let's take a look at the Explorer, or as I like to call it, the Exploder. The Explorer has a whole new overhaul as well. Now, yes, Windows 98 had this sidebar over here that you see on the left-hand side, but you'll notice that in XP, there's a list of tasks. For instance, if I highlight the hard drive, well, actually, that's not a good example. Let me go into my pictures for say. Notice as I navigate through these folders, different tasks appear on this list. So notice that Windows sees, oh, these are pictures, right? So I have options such as view a slideshow, order prints, print pictures, and items related to and options related to pictures. But let's say I go back to my documents and I go to my music. Notice how the list changes. It has options for music, play the track, shop for music online, burn an audio CD. So that was a new feature in Windows XP where Microsoft made the UI a lot easier to use, so that someone, like I said before, someone who had never owned a computer could just pick it up and use it without having to, spend hours reading really long and tedious manuals. They just made it very user-friendly. They also improved the web-style navigation buttons, as you'll see where my cursor is up here, to sort of work like the web. And yes, there is single-click launching if you want to use that, but that's up to you. The help and support system also got a major overhaul too. Now this was changed quite a bit in Windows Millennium Edition, but in Windows XP, once it comes up here, you'll notice that it's much more user-friendly. So you can search for topics, you can ask for assistance, you can pick a task. There's all these different options you can go through. So if, let's say I wanted to fix a problem, so I click on fixing a problem, right? And let's just click on something here. Let's say printing problems. Sure, why not? I'm a tech. I always get calls about I can't print. Let me get out of the way of the camera here. So let's say fixing a printing problem. Let's click on this. You'll notice when I do this, Windows gives me options and very intuitive options on how to fix a problem. This was new in Windows XP. It was sort of like this in Windows Millennium Edition, which was like Windows 2000 Home Edition, which we'll go into more details later. I already did a video on Windows Millennium's 20th anniversary. Again, that link will be up in the cards if you want to check that video out. But basically, Windows XP had a complete refresh of the help and support system. You now have user-friendly screens to navigate through, so if you don't know how to fix a problem, all you have to do is just, and if you can't find what you're looking for, you can search. So let's say I can't print. So I type in printer up here and click and hit enter or click the green go button, right? Notice how we have 24 results, so we can say fix a problem, we can pick a task. It organizes it by categories too. So let's say I want to say, how about and you can print test pages, cancel printing all documents. That's not going to work because I don't have any printers installed. But basically, it allows you to search for a problem without having to go through without having to spend hours going through a manual. It's much more intuitive, and that's why Microsoft didn't really include that much documentation with Windows XP. In addition, Windows XP introduced a new search utility. Yes. Our dog friend, yeah, I'll zoom in on him. I honestly don't remember this dog's name. Sorry, Bill, I don't remember your dog's name. I'm sorry I performed an illegal operation. I guess I'll be shut down now. No, but anyways, in all seriousness, if I wanted, and notice again how it's sorted by category, so I can search for pictures, music, videos, documents, all files, etc. So I'm going to search for I'm going to search for music. Let's say I want to find a song. So Symphony Number 9. Where is that? So I type in symphony, if that's even how you spell symphony. Yep, I did spell it right. Okay. And bingo was his name. Oh, there's the file. So I say, oh, Symphony Number 9. I would actually play this, but I think that music is copyrighted. So, and I don't want to get content ID'd and get this video demonetized. So unfortunately, I will not be playing the sample music, but, you know, if it's not copyrighted, let me know in the comments below, and maybe in a future episode I can actually, let me know, because I actually, honestly, I don't know. I mean, I know once I did get content ID'd for using Windows 7 sample music, but that was in like 2016, so I honestly don't know if YouTube is still content IDing videos containing Windows sample music, but whatever. Fun fact. Easy Pass New Jersey, I had to call them recently because my Easy Pass transponder just conked out on me for whatever reason. Their hold music, believe it or not, is Symphony Number 9, and is the two sample tracks from Windows XP are what's on their hold music. I really hope they're not still using Windows XP. But anyways, let's move on. So that's the search function. Connect to, I mean, there's wireless network connection, but I don't have any connections, so unfortunately I'm not going to be able to show that. But basically, if you had a wireless connection and your because back in the day, most built-in wireless cards were not turned on by default. You had to manually enable them, then you'd go to this menu here and select your wireless connection when it was in range, and Windows would automatically connect to it. Set program access and defaults. This was introduced in Windows 2000. Well, I'm sorry, no, it was not introduced in Windows 2000. It was added in a service pack for Windows 2000. Don't remember exactly which one, but it was a feature that was ported over from XP. What this allows you to do, this is add or remove programs, so it looks very similar to how it did in Windows 2K, but you can set program configurations. So basically, this allows you to choose different settings, like what your default web browser is, your default email, Windows, what your default media player is, and so on and so forth. So basically, it's similar to how default apps works in Windows today, but this is basically a precursor to how modern Windows versions manage your default apps. Also included were Internet Explorer 6, which this has been upgraded to IE 8, the highest version of IE that Windows XP can run. Outlook Express 6, which cannot be upgraded at all, because in Windows Vista, Outlook Express was replaced with Windows Mail. More on that when we do our Windows Vista installation commemoration. And hopefully I'll get real installation media that's not frickin' damaged. I'm still pissed off about that. I don't know why. I'm holding a grudge against that seller. Anyways, sorry. Gotta stay focused. Windows XP also introduced a new feature called Remote Assistance. So we'll click on Remote Assistance here. And now, unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to show this because I don't have this connected to the internet, and it wouldn't be safe to connect it to the internet because it's Windows XP and it's unprotected. Plus, I don't have another XP machine to demonstrate this with. But basically, this is also still in Windows today. I'll zoom in on Remote Assistance so you guys can read that. So it says, invite someone you trust to help you. Using an internet connection, anyone running Windows XP can chat with you, view your screen, and with your permission, work on your computer. Sounds a little bit like TeamViewer, doesn't it? Well, guess what? This is TeamViewer circa 2001. Yep, Remote Assistance actually lets you connect remotely into somebody else's computer and help them fix a problem. I actually had to do this back in 2013. I had a client who lived very far away from me, and they were getting an error message that was preventing them from logging in. So, it wasn't preventing them from logging in, but the error message kept coming up. Like it would come up like every 5 minutes or so. So instead of driving an hour to where this individual lived, I simply used Remote Assistance because she had Windows XP, I had Windows 7 at the time, and using Remote Assistance, I was able to log in, uninstall the program that was causing the error, problem solved. So it basically allowed you to work remotely. This was like a precursor to RMM tools like, Continuum, Log Me In, Rescue, GoToMeeting, TeamViewer. You get the idea. This is basically what that was. In addition, Windows XP also included, I forgot, when you open a program from the All Programs menu, it pins it to the Start menu because it says, hey, you opened that program recently. MSN, really nothing new there, just the same old, same old. Remote desktop connection. I'm going to go ahead and fire this up. Now, we're not connected to the internet, so again, this is not going to work, again, because I don't want to connect unprotected Windows XP to the internet. But for those of you who don't know, MSTSC, Microsoft Terminal Services Client, is used to remotely connect to another computer either inside your network or in some cases outside of your network. Basically, this tool allows you to view, it doesn't really matter that I can't show what it does because, I can show it on any other computer, but everyone knows what RDP is nowadays, at least most people do. So, basically, if I wanted to connect to my server, I would either type its host name or IP address in here, hit connect, and I could I could control the server as if I were physically sitting there. And by the way, my server happens to be right over, well, you can't see it. There it is. My Dell PowerEdge T110-2. Running Windows Server 2K19. Originally, I almost said 2016. That's what it was running before, but I recently upgraded it. So anyways, so that's remote desktop connection. Again, a feature I can't really show, but you get the idea. Windows Movie Maker was also improved in Windows XP. It was included in Windows Me, and I did show it in Windows Me. But it was improved in Windows XP. There was also a tour of Windows XP, which you saw in the last video, the Windows XP Bogus Blues video. Again, I'll put a link up in the cards if you want to go check that out. Let's see, what else do we have here? Sound recorder, this is all about wireless network. Accessibility was all in Windows 98. Really, that's about it as far as major advancements in Windows XP. I mean, there were other under the hood changes, and like the exFAT file system, which was added on, and there were 3 service packs released for Windows XP. Service packs 1, 2, and 3. There was an unofficial service pack 4, and interestingly enough, Windows XP was the longest Microsoft product to receive support for, because Windows XP was released for OEM sale on August 24th, 2001, and for general availability, October 24th, 2001. It was either the 24th or the 25th. I know it was late October of 01, and XP is regarded as Microsoft's greatest operating system ever. And it's for good reasons. It is robust, it's reliable, and it's extremely stable. It's one of the most commonly installed pieces of software in the world. In fact, a lot of computers in China, even today, are still running Windows XP. And Microsoft still provides, if you have a special support contract with them, they'll still provide security patches for XP. Because XP was an OS that because Vista was so vastly different in terms of its kernel and file system from XP, there are still a lot of apps out there, especially in the industrial fields, that will not run on anything higher than Windows XP. So many computers are still running XP because the software will not run, proprietary software will not run on anything higher than Windows XP. So XP is a legend in that respect. Windows XP received 3 service packs, like I said. The first released in 2002, which basically included some bug fixes and really not much else. Service Pack 2 was a major update. And oh, that reminds me. Speaking of Service Pack 2, I forgot to show the Security Center in the control panel. Yes, this was not included in Windows XP, RTM, and Service Pack 1. This was introduced in Service Pack 2. The Security Center. This is not like UAC in Vista, not quite, but basically this would tell you if there was a problem with your computer, and if there was, you'd see a notification in the notification area. But basically this tells you, is your firewall on, do you have automatic updates on, and what's your virus protection status? Like if, let's say I had, I don't know, AVG antivirus on here, and it was out of date. Windows Security Center would notify me that, hey, AVG is out of date, and it would tell me to update it. And once I updated it, where it says not monitored would turn back to okay, or I honestly don't remember what it said if it was okay. I don't have any antivirus software on here because none of it supports XP anymore except for ClamWin, but again, I'm not connecting this to the internet, so, don't really need ClamWin on here. But this was a nice feature of XP. If you didn't want it to bug you, if you felt like you knew better than everybody else and you didn't want to be notified about your virus protection, there was this option here that says, I have an antivirus program that I'll monitor myself. Yeah, I really wish Microsoft would re-implement that in Windows 11. Microsoft, if you're listening, please listen to my words of ease, or my advice rather. Actually, it's funny. I think Microsoft may have watched some of my videos where I complained about them making Windows 10 the last version, because I've complained about that a lot. And honestly, I have to commend Microsoft for going back to going back to the old regime, releasing a new version of Windows every 3 to 4 years. I like that better than just having Windows as a service and getting feature updates. It's like, it takes all the fun out of it. And yes, I will be doing a Windows 11 video pretty soon. I have a computer that can run it, so it's actually a custom-built computer I built myself. It's a laptop too. But today we're here to talk about XP. We're not here to talk about Windows 11 right now. So so Service Pack 2 also included a bunch of security updates, but mainly the Security Center was the big draw to Service Pack 2. And then Service Pack 3 introduced support for stuff like, WPA2 encryption and exFAT file systems, stuff like that was included in Service Pack 3. That was released in 2008. Oh, and I forgot to mention, Service Pack 2 was released in 2004. And then Service Pack 3 was released in 2008. 2 years after Vista was released. Those are the service packs for XP. There was an unofficial Service Pack 4. Windows XP support, let me talk about end of support first. Windows XP support ended on April 8th, 2014. But there were exceptions. A, if you had an extended support contract, Microsoft would still provide updates for XP, like I talked about earlier. And also, Windows Embedded POS Ready 2009, which was a variant of Windows XP Professional designed for point-of-sale systems, that's what POS stands for, that was supported until just, I think it was 2 or 3 years ago, it lost support, but yeah, there was a registry hack that allowed you to get those updates on XP, all editions of XP. So XP was still being patched. Let's see. XP was still being patched 5 years after its official end of support. And I'll admit, I use those patches. The unofficial Service Pack 4 would also install those patches. But yeah, that's why people like V Westlife and UXW Bill, if you go back through their channel archives and you see older videos of them using XP even after April 8th, 2014, that's why. Because XP was so popular back then, people didn't want to let it go. Didn't want to give it up, didn't want to let it down, didn't want to run around and desert it. Sorry, I shouldn't rickroll people on camera. But anyways, yeah, so... Is someone calling me? Oh, I thought I heard my phone ringing. But anyways, yeah, so anyways, Windows XP is easily one of my favorite operating systems, although it is not my favorite. It's high up there, but it's not quite my favorite. XP holds a special place in my heart because it was the third major operating system I ever used. It was pre-installed on my second computer, my Dell Dimension 4600C from 2004, and I used XP from 2002, which was, we upgraded my Windows Me computer to XP, just for those who didn't know, my HP Presario, or Compact Presario with Windows Me, we upgraded that to XP after it came out, and it worked a lot better than Millennium Edition, to say the least. But yeah, I used XP up until around 2008 or 9, when I started using Vista. And then in 2009, I went to Windows 7 and didn't really use XP much anymore, except on older computers that I had that didn't run anything, that, you know, had like Pentium 4s or Pentium M that just wouldn't run Windows 7 very well, so I would just keep those on XP. But yeah, Windows XP holds a very special place in my heart. I can remember playing games on it, watching the tour when I had no internet. It was the golden ages, and honestly, I think kids today should be taught in tech class, should be taught about Windows XP, because Windows XP is easily Microsoft's greatest operating system ever made, and probably the most world-renowned version of Windows to ever be released. So, I think I'm going to close off this video here. Happy birthday, Windows XP. We all love you. I forgive the sellers who sent me the damaged discs and didn't bother to tell me about it. But you know what? I think we have a little song to sing. Well, actually, I can't sing it. I was going to sing Happy Birthday, but I can't because that song is copyrighted. Yes, for those of you who don't know, for those of you if you go to school and you want to impress your teachers, tell them that the song Happy Birthday to You is copyrighted, and that's why if you go to a restaurant on your birthday, they cannot sing Happy Birthday to You because the song is copyrighted. So, here's what I'm going to do. Instead of singing Happy Birthday, for he's a jolly good fellow, for he's a jolly good fellow, for she's a jolly good fellow, which nobody can deny, which nobody can deny, which nobody can deny, for she's a jolly good fellow, for she's a jolly good fellow, for she's a jolly good fellow, which nobody can deny. Doot! That felt good to sing that. Anyways, happy birthday, Windows XP. Rest in peace, my brother, I guess you could say, because it's been dead for like for 7 or 8 years. I don't even remember. I can't do math right now, apparently. But my point is, thank you, Windows XP. You'll always have a special place in my heart, and I'll always keep you installed on one of my older computers. And with that, thank you guys for watching. Comment, like, and subscribe. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. They help out a lot. Subscribe if you want to see more, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Take care, everybody. But wait, I almost forgot. We forgot to listen to the sounds of Windows XP, or at least the startup and shutdown sounds. I know you guys are just itching to hear those. So, I'm going to do it because I like you a lot. Don't take that too seriously. Here we go. Boot up time. Go! Let's have a race, love a race. Okay, that's a stupid song that I used to listen to when I was a little kid. It was on a Thomas the Tank Engine cassette tape. Kids these days will have no idea what I'm talking about when I say cassette tape, because kids now don't even know what a compact cassette is. But I'll be quiet now because camera, don't go drunk on me, camera. Brings a tear to my eye every time I hear that startup sound. Hopefully you guys could hear that. Oh, there's the wireless icon. Okay, so yeah, wireless networks detected. So, I didn't show this off because for whatever reason the icon wasn't there. Okay, let me go ahead, because I also missed something else that I wanted to talk about. So this is just sort of like yes, this is being recorded on the same day, by the way. So here's what the wireless network wizard in Windows XP looks like. Very intuitive, very user-friendly. Basically, here's my network here. If I wanted to connect to it, I just click here and hit connect. I won't do it because it's not gonna work, because my network is WPA2, and this wireless card that I have in here does not support WPA2 because it's 802.11b. I use 802.11n, and that's not supported by 802.11b. But basically, for those who don't know, that's what the wireless network connection wizard looks like in Windows XP. The other feature I forgot to mention. Take it away, Bertrand Surley.
And it has this well-loved feature that's called activation.
Yep, activation. Windows XP was the first version of Windows to introduce Windows Product Activation. Now, you're not going to see it on this system because this is a corporate copy of XP. It's a volume license copy. And volume license copies of XP do not require activation. That's why when those keys were leaked back in 2003, everybody was using them because you could just get free Windows XP and didn't have to activate it. But basically, product activation in a nutshell verifies that the product key hasn't been used more times than allowed by the EULA, and it also verifies that the key is not blacklisted by Microsoft so that people can't just pirate the OS. And if you don't activate Windows XP, you actually get locked out of the operating system. It'll give you an error saying you have to activate before you can log in. Even in safe mode, it'll do that, unless you do regular safe mode. But any other safe mode, like safe mode with command prompt or safe mode with networking, you have to activate before you can even get into those. And you can't activate in safe mode either, so you have to you're screwed no matter what, unless you boot into regular safe mode. But anyways, that's Windows Product Activation. Yes, that's still in Windows today. But anyways, that is it for real this time. Take care, everyone. Happy birthday, Windows XP. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Take care. Bye. I lied again! Yep, you know what? This is just becoming... I'm getting old already, okay? I just said we were going to listen to the sounds, and I didn't frickin' play them. So here you go, for real this time. Yes, that sound is used in a lot of prank calls, and it's used a lot. It's famous by now. We'll save that one for last. That was always my favorite. I would always go, "Banjo!" when that sound played when I got a new email. Oh, and you know what else? I tell ya, I'm almost 24, and I keep forgetting shit. Sorry for my language. Yes, this video contains explicit language. Viewer discretion is advised. But I forgot to show the user switching, like I promised at the beginning of the video. So, if we go into user accounts here, you'll notice we have several options. We can change an account. We can create a new account, and we can change the way users log on and off. Basically, this is the welcome screen. You can disable that here. Fast user switching we'll get into in fact, fast user switching. Let me enable the guest account, even though it's not recommended by Microsoft. And I want to show you guys something cool. So let's say I open up my documents here, right? Let's say I want to log off. In previous versions of Windows, I would have to log off and close all my programs. But watch this. I don't think I can ever get tired of hearing that startup chime. Notice I'm now at a completely new desktop. So I can now browse this computer. I can now use the computer as a guest. And notice that nothing's running. Now watch this. I'm going to log off of the guest account. That was the sound I was waiting for you guys to hear. And notice I'm still logged in. I click on my name. Everything I had open is still open. So yep, that's called fast user switching. That was a new thing in Windows XP. So now I'm going to go ahead and disable the guest account. We're just going to click on disable. Okay, that's the last thing. I promise, no BS this time, being completely 100% damn serious this time. That's all for now. Again, happy birthday, Windows XP. And just because this will probably be one of the last XP machines I use for a while, those were Stephen Hawking's last words. No, I'm kidding. Stephen Hawking was a great guy. But yeah, I remember my friends and I would joke about that, the Windows XP shutdown sound were Stephen Hawking's last words. Anyways, these are my last words, at least for right now. Happy birthday, Windows XP. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed the video, you know what to do. I already said it. Take care. Have a great rest of your summer. Kids, be prepared to work your butts off when you go back to school next month, or if you live down south, you're probably already doing that. I will see you guys later. Take care. Goodbye. For real this time.